What's going on, everyone? And thank you for tuning in to everybody's favorite little American soccer podcast. This is Stateside Footy. And of course, I'm your guy, Steve Silver. Man, oh man, oh man. Another week goes by, and the Seattle Sounders this week are taking on Nashville SC. A nice little quaint MLS showdown tonight. I got to be honest with you, man. I'm kind of fired up for this one just because, I'm always fired up for the Sounders, man. Every single time they come on, I'm looking through the schedule and I'm like, okay, yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. And of course, I'm always like, who are the Sounders playing? So of course we are there as we are getting ready for kickoff tonight. As we are about to get into tonight's lineups, because I actually do believe that. We probably should probably get into that. So let's go ahead and do that. As we look at tonight's starting lineup for your Seattle Sounders, we will start in goal with Stefan Fry, Yaimar, Kim, and Yu, who form the back three. The midfield four of Kozariense, Vargas, Roldan, Rothrock, and the front three of De La Vega, Ferreira, and Stefan Muzovsky. And of course, it's not unheard of. Last week we saw Brian Schmetzer start in a 3-4-3. As it progresses up the field, it's generally progresses as they attack the ball up the field. It's two strikers with two wingers and two underneath. So it works. On the bench tonight, of course, we will have Rusnik and Jordan Morris available on the bench as well too. Not 100% ready to get into it, but that being said, certainly good enough on the field to make some impact and get get the goals that are necessary to win. For Nashville, it'll be Willis, Lovitz, Palacio, Maher, Najer, Brugman, Yazbek, Heine Mukhtar, Mule, Kasim, and Suraj. Nashville is a little bit of an interesting pickle, isn't it? As we're going to look at the standings real quick. In the Western Conference, Seattle last week with 3 points moves up to 11th in a tie with Real Salt Lake with 3 wins and 5 losses for them. Seattle sitting at 2-3-3. And of course, Vancouver having an unbelievable start to the regular season, 6 wins. 6 wins, one loss, one draw, leads the Western Conference. In the Eastern Conference, Nashville sits at 6 on 13 points. Goal differential of a +4, 12 goals for, 8 against. So they're actually playing incredibly well. So for the Seattle Sounders, this very well could be an interesting game for them as we are getting dangerously close to the start of this one, and we will let you know when that starts. As we are, let me see if we can pull this up now. I thought I would have had this sorted, but apparently that's the problem with Apple. Apple sucks. So yeah, I thought so. Good Lord. Yeah, every single freaking time. Let's see if we can get this up. As we are waiting for the start of kickoff here. And yeah, of course, Jesus. There we go. And it's going to be an interesting battle, right? I mean, for Nashville, Heine Mukhtar is really their guy. And for Seattle, really the dangerous players really for Seattle tonight at least should be Jesus Ferreira, a guy who I don't know exactly what to say about Jesus Ferreira. Not exactly getting off to the greatest start in Seattle. Then again, it's also not the worst start. And of course, Seattle's being backed by their famous Emerald City supporters as we are getting set for kickoff. One of the things and this has plagued Seattle for more than a year now, and that is simply they don't really have consistent wing play. And what do I mean by consistent wing play? Well, they're not getting any production off the wings in terms of goals. And also good service. It's just not there. And one of the things that they were looking to address this offseason was they brought in Paul Arriola. They brought in Jesus Ferreira, who can play both up top and on the wings. But Jesus Ferreira is more of an off striker, more of a false nine. And so, the idea was to potentially play him underneath. It didn't necessarily work out that way. And so, especially with a guy like Jordan Morris. But then again, when Jordan Morris goes down, yeah, it's, you would probably think that he would resume his play up top. That did not happen as Brian Schmetzer continues to use Stefan Huzovsky, who, gives a pretty good performance. Like, I can't deny the fact that he gives a pretty good performance. But that being said, this team desperately needs Albert Rusnak and Jordan Morris back for that team to really kind of, get that season rolling a little bit. But for Nashville, they're a pretty good spot in the East, man. 6th in the East. I realize we're still very early. It's still April. A lot can happen then. But BJ Callahan has this team playing pretty well. They're a very dangerous side. And so we'll see. We'll see how this one turns out. The good news is Seattle is at home. So they have a little bit of a home cooking, which is what you want to see. As we are just waiting for this thing to slow down. Interesting thing about the East, of course, Inter Miami. Of course, the last remaining unbeaten team in Major League Soccer. Obviously, the Messi effect, and why wouldn't that? I mean, Leo Messi's unbelievable. As we're looking at the East, of course, they are the only last unbeaten team. 5 wins, 3 draws, 18 points. But right there is Columbus, and Columbus suffered their first loss to the hands of course, Leo Messi. So that, the Eastern Conference is going to play out just as I think it's going to play out. I don't think there's going to be any differential in the Eastern Conference. Where I think you're going to see is going to be some movement at the top of the Western Conference as things kind of play itself out. Yes, Vancouver's getting off to a very good start, and I actually think that might hold. Vancouver is playing with a lot of firepower right now. Brian White is, Vancouver's talisman. He is putting that team on its shoulder right now. And that's, for Vancouver, for a team that is, Vancouver. Historically, not exactly the greatest team in the world. But right now, having a 3-point lead over 3-point lead over Austin with one in the bag. Austin FC, congratulations to them, sitting second in the Western Conference. Then you have Minnesota and expansion team San Diego FC. Congratulations to them, having a good start, 4-2-2. Portland, Colorado also tied on points. LAFC down to 12 points. There's FC Dallas with 11. San Jose, surprising San Jose, 3 wins, 4 losses. And of course, former U.S. men's national team coach Bruce Arena's got them playing pretty well. So there's going to be a lot of movement in the Western Conference, where I think in the Eastern Conference, you kind of know exactly how that's going to play out. Chances are pretty good. It's going to be one of 4 teams, Miami, Columbus, Cincinnati, and possibly Atlanta. You might see some movement in the latter half of the playoff brackets, but that being said, it is what it is. The real challenge is going to be who is going to be coming out of the Western Conference that's going to be able to challenge a team like Columbus or Miami in the Eastern Conference. Because right now, as it stands, like the firepower really is going to be in the top end of the Eastern Conference, and maybe Vancouver, if they can hold it. I don't know if they can. We are certainly going to find out. As everything is looking good in Seattle tonight. It's good to see the hometown, and of course, Lumen Field in Seattle. Can't wait to get back there at the end of May. It's going to be brilliant. As we are set for kickoff here, our referee is going to be Ricardo Ferrero. Jeffy Greason is the assistant. Jeffy Schwartzel is also the assistant. And the linesman is somebody that is unnamed. And, of course, we have VAR. David Barney and Joshua Patlock will be in the VAR booth for this one. As we are set to kick off here in Seattle. We got smiling faces all the way across the pitch. I want to thank everybody who's tuning in. Make sure you hit your like and subscribe buttons. And, of course, we do an MLS live stream every single week here on Stateside Footy. And the question is, does Seattle have what it takes tonight to get past a pretty damn good Nashville side? We're about to find out. As we are set for kickoff in Seattle, and it will be Nashville moving from left to right. And the ball is off, and we are underway here in Seattle as Nashville's going to play this all the way forward, off to the right-hand side. Ball pops loose, and it comes down with Seattle possession. Here's Rothrock, who is kind of trapped along the end line right there, and that's going to go out, and it'll be a Nashville throw-in. And here's Nahar. He's going to throw this one in. And that's going to be played into the box. Ooh, good defense right there by the Sounders. And that's going to be Obed Vargas who's going to play that out, and it'll be Nashville's first corner of the game. Oh, looks like a throw-in. My bad. Nashville's wearing their customary blue road kits with the yellow trim on this one. Seattle's in their home green. And this ball will be played in. That's going to go all the way into the box right there. Sounders playing well defensively again. And that's Christian Roldan who's going to poke that one out, stopping anything from happening. And there we have, in the chat room, we have Hassan Mubarak, who says, Hani Mukhtar Sudadiz. Yes, sir. He's also a very, very, very dangerous player for Nashville SC. Probably he is the key that makes that Nashville engine go. Thank you for tuning in, Hassan. And that'll be a corner. As we are waiting for clearance now. As there is a little brouhaha going on in Seattle's box here between Nihu and Maher. And really, this was just... No, it was Obed Vargas. Oh, come on. Come on, dude. Get up off the turf, man. You didn't do shit. I did know that Hani Mukhtar was Sudanese. That's a good slide tackle. Ball's bouncing around the front of the box. Gets played out right to a Nashville attacker. 1v1. Plays it away, and there's Pedro de la Vega to clean it up. Sounders are going to be trying to attack, but it's all Nashville in their high press. And there's a whistle. And it's on Kassem. Seattle will get the free kick deep into their own territory. And this is really their first opportunity, the Sounders, to build on an attack. And it'll be Stefan Fry who's going to be responsible for this goal kick as they're going to play this long. Sounders moved up after last week's 1-0 win. Here's Stefan Fry. He's going to boot this forward. And that's going to get played back in the midfield, and here comes Nashville. The numbers forward, and that's going to get played to the side, and it looks like it's going to be Nihu. There's a turnover again, and Nashville is dangerous. Ooh, good little poke right there. Here comes Nashville. Off to the left. Ball in. Good defense by the Sounders. Headed away. Here's De La Vega again, pressured, trying to play through traffic. Ymar. That's going to get out for a Seattle goal kick. So far, it's been all Nashville for the first 3.5 minutes. It is all Nashville right now. High pressure, high intensity, and that's going to get booted forward. And it'll drop to Nashville possession. And there is a player down. And it looks like there might be a whistle here on Christian Roldange, and it looks like it might be Surridge that's down. Nope, it's Brugman. Interesting first 5 minutes here. Seattle's been under pressure for most of it. Can't seem to play the ball out of their own half. And Nashville will play this deep down the left-hand side. That'll get out. Seattle throwing. Sounders just need to be calm here. Weather the storm. Here's De La Vega. Nice little dump off pass. That thing will get switched all the way to the other side of the field. And here's Paul Rothrock, who crosses the midway. But he plays it back to Nihu, who plays it back to Jackson. Who plays it back to Kim, excuse me. Kim in the lineup for Jackson Reagan. And the Sounders have nowhere to go. This Nashville's pressure has been good. That's a nice little dart pass right there by Stefan Fry, who's going to play this. But that's going to be a little bit too hard of a pass, and Sounders turn the ball over. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Because Nashville will hold possession now. Nice little play right there by New. He was going to poke this out. Oh, they're going to say it goes off at Nashville, so to be a Seattle throw-in. As they're going to try to play this forward. Here's Mazovsky. Can't go up and get it. Nashville will retain possession. And so Nashville will build out from their back. Seattle tries to ratchet the pressure up. Nice passing through the mid. Nashville's smooth on the ball, and they're going to play this all the way to the left, and he's got nothing but space. And that's going to get laid forward. Ball in. Way too far. And that gets out. Again for Seattle, they are trying to weather the storm here from Nashville, who have taken it right to them. That ball is going to get played forward. Here's Rothrock moving up the left-hand side. He's looking for numbers. Cuts in. Lays it off. Plays it over. Ball in. And that's going to be headed away. Seattle's first real attack. Again, that ball is going to get deflected out of the box. And here comes Nashville trying to break forward. This looks like it's Mukhtar. Ooh, look at Seattle. That was Heine Mukhtar with some clever moves right there, but it was Niu at the end of the day. First 10, we're in the first 8. And it's been really Nashville's aggression that's been leading the pace in this one. Seattle's basically succumbed to Nashville's pressure. Only once have they really gotten it through, and there's a turnover, a bad turnover deep in Seattle's territory. Nashville will lay it back. Plays it centrally. Nashville's trying to build forward as they're going to try to play this one down the left. But Seattle's pressure has pushed him back beyond midfield. Nice pass right there. And Nashville's trying to find some creases, and they definitely have as they lay this one off. Trying to work it down the right side. And look at Seattle doing a really good job with their press, forcing Nashville to switch sides of the field. That's a ball in, deflected. Heine Mukhtar. Ooh, and there's Stephon Fry. So far, Nashville has looked unbelievably fluid. They're cleaner in passing, also in the press as well, too. Seattle's just having trouble getting out of their own half. Here's Newhue. Off the left side, lays it a little forward. Obed Vargas is going to have to play this one back to Kim. Out to Newhue. That's a nice little ball forward. Unfortunately, just a little shy of Stefan Muzovsky right there. And Seattle's play will go for naught. Nice little through ball right there from Jesus Ferreira. But unfortunately, it goes to naught as that ball's bouncing around the half line right there. Touch line. And it'll be, looks like it might go out off of Ferreira. It might be a Nashville throw-in. Yeah, it sure will. That ball's pinged up. Played down. Here's Obed Vargas, and that's going to get played out for another Nashville throw-in. So Seattle, it looks like Seattle's trying to punch back a little bit, but definitely Nashville still is the aggressor. That's a nice little ball forward. Here's Ferreira. Plays it off. Nice little dump off. Over to Paul Rothrock. Rothrock, 1v1. Stuck between two Nashville defenders. And he lays it off to Newhue. Comes back centrally. Rolled on. Newhue, forward. There's just nothing there, but there's Rothrock trying to, ooh. And that's Heine Mukhtar, and unfortunately, that's just not going to play. As they're going to play this down the left-hand side. Here comes Nashville. In space. Lays it off to the left. 1v1. Surridge. Ooh, nice cleaned out by the Sounders. And that's going to get out for a Nashville throw-in. But again, Nashville has no problem getting numbers forward. Seattle's defense has been in the right places at the right time inside the box to stifle any type of actual real chance creation by Nashville. But possession-wise, it's been all Nashville. As that ball is going to get played back. Nashville's look good they look really good in the buildup. That ball's going to go sailing across the left-hand side of the box, chasing. Oh, nice play. Looks like it's Brugman. Ball in there, Stephon Fry. Very, very, actually, it was Kasem. Very good play by Seattle. It's back. Yeah, there's Ahmed Kasem back again. Sounders cross midfield. Here's Rothrock. Lays it back to Newhue. Newhue plays it forward to Ferreira. Centrally. Here's Roldan. Has to lay it back off to Ymar. Ymar up the right-hand side. Here's Pedro de la Vega. Excuse me, Obed Vargas. Ooh, no, sorry. Rienzi. And that ball's blocked. Here's Rienzi. Keeps possession for Seattle. Christian Roldan turns. Plays it forward. Rienzi. Ball in. Nice play right there by Pedro de la Vega, who keeps possession. Here's DLV. Ooh. Sounders are trying to reset here. Ymar plays it forward. Nice through ball. Here's De La Vega trying to get around. That ball's going to get blocked. Nice possession by De La Vega. Here's Roldan. Ball in. Oh! As it runs right through the box. And Newhue will just fire one up. And that was the Sounders' first legit opportunity as De La Vega came down with that ball. Tapped it to Roldan, who made a nice sprint run at the edge of the box. Put one in as it sails right through. And they cannot find another Sounder there. And Nashville will play this long. And there's a whistle. So credit to Seattle here. They've done an unbelievable job. At least I think. To be able to kind of weather that first 10 minutes, that Nashville intensity. To be a little bit patient in that build-up to try to get something going. They've done a very good job as that ball's going to get played centrally. Nice header right there. Ooh, and here comes Nashville crossing midfield. They got numbers. Here's Mule. And that ball's going to get ricocheted off of Paul Rothrock, and that's going to get out for a Nashville throw-in. But you see the speed on the turn when it comes to the counter. Nashville has no problem bringing numbers forward here. And we will start. That's a nice play in. And, there's Ymar to clean that shit up. Ymar says, nah, we ain't playing. Corner. Very good defense by the Sounders, who probably do have the best defense in the league. That team is very, very, very accountable when it comes to their defense. They don't give anything away cheap. There's a ball over the top, and there's Stephon Fry. And he's just going to boot one up the field. And it's Pedro De La Vega. And there's just nothing there. Good defense right there. That's good defense right there. Is Nayar. Goes 1v1 against Pedro De La Vega. Both collapse to the turf. Ball caroms forward. But here's Nashville. Doing a really good job here. As they'll lay that off. They're going to play this forward. Nice ball in, but there was a note to nobody right there. It looks like he was looking for Heine Mukhtar, but there was nothing there except for Kim. As that ball will get out. Seattle throwing. The Sounders faithful in full force tonight. Not as lively as it once was. Ooh, nice play. Ball in. Good defense right there by Ymar. Here's Jesus for a nice little ball forward. Here's Paul Rothrock on the run. That'll get out. Seattle throwing. As that gets played back, here's Newhue. Seattle's looking to play down that left-hand side. But Nashville's defensive overload is taking it to that side. Here's Rienzi. That's going to get deflected. But right back to Ymar. Seattle will reset. Here's De La Vega. Ball in. Ooh. And he almost hit Ferreira. Nice opportunity right there. Ooh, look at that. Look at that play. Off to the left. Here's Rothrock. Ball in. Ball in net. Oh, it's in. Oh, he's offsides. Oh, they're going to whistle that one offsides. And it was Musovski who tapped it in. Are they calling this offside? And they're looking at it. And it starts with Christian Roldan winning the ball back. De La Vega made a nice little play. Out to Rothrock, who puts one across. There was the tap. Oh, no, he was that was onside. That was 100% onside. That's gonna get turned over because there's no way Rothrock was offside. That's gonna get on the board. Yeah, that's onside. Yep, and it's going to VAR. Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's going to VAR. There's no way that was offside. Yeah. That was such a sweet little goal. Sweet little tap in. But right there, you can clearly see that the defender has a step on Rothrock. No way that was offside. Here's the call. Yep, and it's a goal. Seattle takes the lead 1-0. 20 minutes into the first half. Absolutely. As the Sounders celebrate as they take their first lead of the match. Yeah, absolutely. That was 150%. That was a goal. Yeah, as Rothrock was definitely onside. Nice little finish right there by Musovski, who's in the right place at the right time just to clean it. Nice little flick, too. Nice little flick. So the Sounders take the lead on a Steven Musovski little flick. And all of a sudden, it is 1-0. Seattle. As play resumes, all of a sudden, for all the intensity and all the press that Nashville opened up this match, Seattle has countered. And all of a sudden now, it's 1-0 Seattle. Very good play by Christian Roldan to set everything up. As that ball is going to be played back all the way back to goal. Seattle all of a sudden has ratcheted up the pressure as that ball gets played out of bounds, and Seattle will have a throw in deep in Nashville's territory. Here's the throw in. It's Rothrock. He's got to play that forward. Gets on it. That's going to be deflected and out of play. It'll be another Seattle throw in. Good defense by Nashville right there. They shut that shit down quick. Here's Rothrock with the throw in. Can Seattle make it 2 in succession? Oh, nice little pass to get Rothrock on. Shot. Ooh, good save. Good save by Willis. That was heading in. Nice little shot by Christian Roldan. Now all of a sudden the Sounders are looking dangerous. Here's Nashville trying to play it forward. And let's see it. Three Sounders just converge on the ball. And there's the whistle. As Nashville will play it forward. Oh, turnover. Here comes Musovski. Lays it off. De La Vega shoots. That's blocked. Ooh! Ooh! And it was Christian Roldan again, who had an absolute laser go right over the crossbar. And now all of a sudden, the juices are flowing. Ooh. Off the turnover, now the Sounders are looking to capitalize. Nice play right there by Christian Roldan. He has certainly been dangerous in this first half. Nashville almost, that's a turnover again. Here come the Sounders. That ball's a little too far. De La Vega can't catch. Here comes Nashville in transition. Plays it up the left-hand side. Cuts in, plays it back. And now Nashville will slow it up a little bit. They're trying to play that little 1-2 up the left side before switching all the way to the right. See what can Nashville counter off the left-hand side. And they can't do anything with it, so they'll try to recycle it back to their center backs. You know they're looking for Heine Mukhtar at some point. They're going to try to play this down the left-hand side. There's just nothing there. And Seattle will turn that into... Ooh, Seattle almost created another turnover right there. That ball was just rocketed a little too forward. De La Vega couldn't handle it. Nashville's trying to find an entry. They're going to have to retreat again past midfield. Seattle's press is doing their job. They will play it forward. Rothrock trying to press. Here comes Nashville. Cuts inside to the mid. All the way to the left. There's a ball in. Oh, there's Yaimar. And there's a whistle. Woo. And that ends Nashville. Just could not find a way into Seattle's box there. Very good defense for the Sounders. Stefan Fry will take the goal kick here. We are in the 26th minute here of the first half. Seattle leading 1-0. And there's the ball. All the way up the field. Nashville. And there's a whistle. I think this is going to go against, what, Seattle? There's a scrum on the turf here. Yeah, it will go against Pedro de la Vega. Nashville will have the free kick here. As Nashville will try to set up. They've been hell-bent on trying to play it down that left-hand side. Seattle has overloaded their defense to reflect that, but that's a nice little forward pass. That's going to get out of play very quickly. And there's another whistle here. This will be a free kick. Unbelievable. Here's the free kick. Heine Mukhtar standing over it. Here's that ball in. Just a little too short in Seattle. Ooh, no. Okay. Okay, I'm seeing you. As that ball will get out. Nashville throw-in. As we are joined here by the Dermatron, who's the Who's the channel boss? What's up, Dermo?
Don't ask. Just do not ask. I've had one of them nights when, do you know when you press the wrong thing on your PC and
Yes, I
everything
do.
goes? Yeah, I've
Yes, I
had
do.
one of them nights.
Okay.
Um,
One of
I
those crazy
deleted,
old nights.
yeah, I deleted something that I shouldn't have deleted, and it
Oh, yeah.
threw off my other monitor, and I had to reset my PC completely to get it back again.
Did you end up deleting that sweet porno scene that you kept for like 5 years?
I did. It was actually 10 years. It was actually 10. It was heartbreaking. You were in it as well, Steve. That was the heartbreaking part of it as well.
Yeah, that's gross, Dermo.
I'm
Seattle's going to try to play this ball forward.
I'm joking.
Here's Jesus Ferreira. Nice touch. It's Muzovsky in the box. Shot. Ooh, goes wide. But there's De La Vega to clean it up on the other side.
What game are you watching this on, man? What channel are you watching this on?
I'm on soccer streams.
Right. Could you send us that link?
Yeah, I'll send you.
Don't mind. Sorry. And that was only a joke, by the way, Steve. I wasn't trying to be sorry.
I know.
Bad taste.
I know, dude. Sorry. I know. Jeez.
But it's just annoying that I have to log into everything I was in. StreamYard, Canva, the whole lot. I am not the boss. You're the boss, Riley.
Oh, no, you're the boss. What are you talking about?
You're the assistant manager.
Oh, around the corner. Skins his man. Oh, go!
Please say we scored. Who scored?
Seattle.
Yes. Come on, Seattle.
Oh, what a beautiful goal. And it looks like Obed Vargas skinned his man around the corner, plays one in, and it looks like it was Pedro De La Vega there to clean it up. Seattle's number 10. What a beautiful, beautiful goal. And if you go down 1, 2, 3, 4, if you go down 4 streams, that's the one I'm on.
All right. Yeah, I've just got to download the my VPN again. It's just everything.
Okay. I gotcha.
Oh, it's been one of those nights.
What a wonderful goal. What a wonderful goal. And Seattle now has jumped out to a 2-0 lead here in the first half. And again, it starts with a turnover. That gets played back. And it's going to be Rienzi who fires it forward. There was a deflection. And here comes Nashville trying to cross midfield, but Seattle's pressure is holding him back. That's a nice little turnover.
Ooh. So is this a league game, Steve, or a cup game?
Yes, it's a league game.
See what?
Seattle's just a menace. There's Mozovsky with an opportunity on net. Yeah, no, this is a league game. We're not going to have any cup. More than 3/4 of the league are participating in our domestic cup because we have the Summer Leagues Cup and we also have the Club World Cup this year.
So what is like? There's an Eastern League and the Western League, and I noticed that Nashville are in one league and Seattle are in the other. So how come they're playing each other then?
Well, because we play everybody. Just because you're like, so it's seeded in conference, Western and Eastern Conference, and of course the Eastern teams play the bulk of their calendar in the East, but they do play the West, and it's usually based on travel, just to keep the travel light load. But that being said, usually we have our domestic cup, which is the U.S. Open Cup, which is a 100-year-old cup, but Major League Soccer decided they didn't want to play in it, and so only a certain amount of teams are going to be in. Oh, header! Ooh, nice stuff. Nice save right there by Stefan Fry. Ooh, and so because they added this crazy, so they have this thing called Leagues Cup, which is a cup competition between Liga MX and Major League Soccer teams, and that's usually played in the summer. And because of the addition of Leagues Cup, Major League Soccer teams are no longer participating in the 100-year-old U.S. Open Cup purely for financial reasons. And it's pissed a whole bunch of American soccer fans off because, we're also traditionalists as well, too. Like, it's our version of the FA Cup. And imagine the Premier League saying, we're not going to participate in that anymore.
Oh, I get that.
Oh, wide open. Here's, ooh, and finds another goal. This time it's Paul Rothrock, and Seattle is absolutely now just going ham sandwich on Nashville. It's 3-0 Seattle, and this has just gotten out of hand for Nashville. Nashville, who started the game, with unbelievable intensity and pressure all over the course of the last 20 minutes, it's turned Seattle's direction, and they've absolutely scored 3 on the bounce. And it's 3-0 Seattle. This time, it was Paul Rothrock off the left-hand side as that ball came in. And it looked like it was Jesus Ferreira that saw Rothrock, played it over. He was wide open and just puts one on and puts one past Willis. Unbelievable, Dermotron. Seattle has now all of a sudden scored 3 in the bounce in the last 15 minutes.
I'm telling you, Seattle are the US Tottenham. I'm telling you. They have to be.
Except we've actually won league titles in the last 10 years. We've won 3 league titles, and we have also won our Continental Championship as well too. The only MLS team to do it.
Well, that's fair enough.
So, it's funny because when you look at Seattle and their run of form over the last 3 years, there's a lot of characteristics to it. But from 2016 through 2020, Seattle was the best team in the league by far. They got to getting to 4 MLS Cups and winning 3 of them. It's unbelievable.
That is unbelievable.
I would love to see Tottenham go on a run where they win 3 Premier Leagues in 4 years. That would be just. I think I could die happy.
Yeah, I think I'd die happy too if that happened. But you never know with the takeover and what's going to happen now. You just don't know.
It was funny today on Big Up because you have good sources. It's one of the things that I know for a fact you have because our mutual friend Colm essentially just backed it up earlier today anyway. And so it's like when you say it, you're not just saying it just to be funny or cute.
Yeah.
So when you say that there's going to be a takeover, I 100% believe it.
Yeah, it's the funny thing you get with this, that I understand people don't believe you until they see it. I get that.
Right.
And
they want to wait for the official Sky Sports or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
You there, Dermot? Oh, I think Dermot's
back 3 months ago. Yeah.
There you're back now, Dermot.
Yeah. And then it's like something, yeah. Then it's like the Harry Kane thing as well. Did you say number 4th down, did you say?
Yep. Yes, sir. 4th stream down.
Okay.
And you're going to click on it a few times.
Oh,
but
yeah.
You're going to go back you're going to close out that tab and do that a few times.
I know it's come up straight away for me.
There you go. As Nashville's trying to play it out of the back right there, here's Heine Mukhtar is going to play it forward. That ball goes way forward and out of bounds, and it will be a Seattle throw-in. So unbelievable turn of events here in Seattle in the last 15 minutes. Seattle has been on the front foot, put 3 past Nashville, and all of a sudden now Nashville finds itself in a hole that I don't think they're going to be able to get out of unless all of a sudden Seattle just falls apart defensively. That doesn't look like they're going to do that either. No. So I gotta be happy with you. I'm happy because it's nice watching the Sounders.
By the way,
oh, thank you, sir.
Is that the new kit? Or was that the old one?
It's an old one. It's an old 3rd jersey. Yeah.
Their kit is very much like why I like it. It's green for Ireland, and
it's blue.
I don't like the blue shorts though. I think they could have gone all green with their kit.
Yeah, they always rock a green home. They always rock a green, some version of green. Here's Rothrock, plays it forward, just a little too far, forward, but nice opportunity right there for the Sounders. Yeah, their colors are green. It's called Rave Green, And ever since their inception in 2009, they've always had some form of green home kit and some variant of blue on the road. This year, obviously, it's Salish blue, and you saw that last week when they wore them last week against FC Dallas, which I think they're actually kind of sweet. I think they look good. This the one that I'm wearing right here is the old thirds, and it kind of like it reminds me of Arsenal. Arsenal wore a blue like this back in the day.
They did, yeah.
They had like a third. They had like a blue on blue third.
Pin to start.
And blue on Arsenal looks ridiculous.
Yeah. Anything on Arsenal looks ridiculous, by the way.
I would agree with you. I absolutely could not stand Thierry Henry.
I didn't like him when he handballed us and cheated us out of getting to the World Cup, by the way. That's the bit that got me. And we were killing France that night as well, by the way. We rarely had enough chances to put France away.
Was it as blatant, as bad as Diego Maradona?
It was not England? Blatant. It was so, I mean, believe me, Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder could have saw it. It was that blatant. I mean, honest to God, it was that bad. I mean, he didn't touch it once. He touched it twice.
And they didn't call it?
No. The referee the referee saw it and it's not like
that's the worst. That's the worst. That's the worst when a ref sees it and then denies it ever happened. It's like, okay, dude, who are you getting paid by? Seattle's going to play this one across the field, and here's Pedro de la Vega, who centrally plays it into Roldan. Ooh, nice little touch pass back out, and there's a whistle. No, there's no whistle. Excuse me. So, it bugs the shit out of me when refs, especially refs today, man. I don't know what to make of it. It's bad refereeing.
It is. I mean, the refereeing standard, I think, this season's been woeful anyway.
100%.
It really has. But here's Nashville now. Ooh,
nice defense right there. Nice play by Ymar to get free, and now he's running forward. Ooh. That's going to be a whistle right there, 100%. Yeah, and of course that dude pushes Nihu to the ground because he got absolutely skinned. But yeah, you know what's funny is I remember a time in the Premier League where refs actually let the game play and let the flow dictate itself, and there was something blatant they would call it.
Now they just went for. This is why I agree with Ange that VAR is running the game. I will agree with that.
I'm not a big fan of VAR.
Yeah,
because it's not being used as it's intended, right? So
no,
it's not being used as it's intended. And the other thing is the offside rules, and it's like you can easily have an offside line, and all you have to do is check it real quick, back to the game.
But good stuff here by Seattle. Actually, they're keeping the ball well. Oh, good over. Oh, look at that. That's good to play.
Yeah, that's fine. Seattle retains possession as they'll play it back to Stefan Fry.
They look comfortable on the ball. Do you know what I mean, Seattle? They don't look scared to play with it. They want it. They want the ball.
You know, in the first 10 minutes, it was all Nashville. And here comes Nashville right here. Trying to play it in. There's two Seattle defenders. And it looks like there's going to be a whistle. And it was that against, I think that might have been against Nashville right there. Yeah. And there's Albert Rusnik.
Troops now. All warming
there's
up.
Jordan. There's J-Mo coming back from injury. He's available tonight. Well, I'm sure we'll see Jordan Morris at some point. Former Swansea City member. He played over there at Swansea he was on loan, got hurt, came back to MLS.
Do you think MLS has improved over the last couple of years since Beckham got involved in it and
you
got Messi now and all the big players that have joined it? Do you feel your league has probably improved?
Oh, without a doubt, the quality of American player that's been developed since Beckham was in the league is night and day. But also the money has absolutely changed because of the number of teams that have joined the league. Because it's a closed system. In order to come into the league, you're going to pay a minimum of $500 million just as a franchise fee. And so when you're dealing with people that have that kind of money, you essentially have billionaire owners, so for a fact you're going to have that kind of money, and because of it, it's allowed Major League Soccer teams to buy a different kind of player, which is recently over the course of the last 10 years, it's been South American talent, which has greatly improved the league, especially you had a guy like Miguel Almiron who came from Paraguay, and he eventually made his way to Newcastle United. So he's back now with Atlanta United. But that's the thing. It's like you're starting to see like this guy right here who's standing over the ball, Heini Mukhtar. He's from Sudan, and ooh, nice save right there.
Good save.
Oh,
that number 9 stopped around the back post there.
Yeah, overall the quality of talent has been good, and then Major League Soccer teams have introduced the Academy Initiative, which opened up academies across Major League Soccer, and that's gave younger kids an opportunity to develop in professional settings and make their way to the first team. And Seattle has a few academy products in their first team as well too. So you're starting to see a better developed U.S. player. Now I'm not going to sit here and say it's on par with like Argentinian players, as that ball's deflected right into the hands of the goalie. I'm not going to say that, or even on par with English players, young English youth, or Welsh youth, or Irish youth, or anything like that. But it's certainly better than it was 25 years ago.
And I think you're going to be better prepared for the World Cup, aren't you, really? For the next World Cup, you're going to be better prepared than you were, say, like back in '94 when you last hosted it. You're developed as a footballing nation. You have developed
for sure. Well, and if you remember back in '94, the United States. So let's take it back a little bit earlier than that. In the '70s. We had the NASL, which was Pele and George Best and
Beckenbauer and
Franz Beckenbauer, players like that. And because the league expanded too quickly, and a lot of there wasn't a lot of American players in that league. Most of it came from overseas. What ended up happening was the league folded in 1983, and the U.S. didn't have an outdoor league. In the 1980s, our league was an indoor league. It was the major indoor soccer league. And we didn't get another outdoor league until like 89, 90. And at best, it was like the National League, the Vanarama National League. But you would even say that the non-league game was even better than what we had. And we got the bid for the 94 World Cup in 88, 89. As we were qualifying for our first World Cup since 1950, and so we made the World Cup with amateur players in 1989, 1990, and we as a nation heading into the '94 World Cup, a lot of our citizens had no idea what the World Cup was. From that standpoint,
I remember that.
Yeah, from that standpoint, everybody understands what the World Cup is now, and MLS has 30 years. So from that standpoint, 100%, we're 100% prepared for this World Cup. From a talent standpoint, I think the U.S. on paper is a talented group of players, but recently the results have not been there, and that's kind of depressing. That's depressing U.S. fans because when you have a young kid like Christian Pulisic and you have Weston McKennie and Gio Reyna and some of these other players, you expect to see, especially with a coach like Pochettino, you're expecting to see something beautiful. And lately, it's been horseshit. And so a lot of American fans are worried that what happened in the Copa America last summer is going to happen again in the World Cup. And if we go out in the group stages in a World Cup in our own backyard, it'll be an absolute embarrassment.
Yeah. I mean, I look at Canada. They qualified like for the first World Cup in '86 with a bunch of amateurs. And look how far they've come as a footballing nation as well, Canada. I mean, you look at the North American.
Good save by
Great
Stefan
saves.
Fry. 1v1 with an open far post.
But you look at both North American sides, like USA and Canada, how far you've come to where you are now. And I think it's great to show that. I know soccer is not your major sport in America, baseball and American football and baseball or basketball is your top sports. It's like here in Ireland that soccer is behind GAA and rugby over here. GAA get everything, the best pitches, the best this and the best that, and soccer just doesn't get it looking. But
that seems kind of ridiculous because the Irish League has been around forever, though.
Well, see, the GAA's been there before the foundation of the state.
Oh, I see.
So GAA's always had that sort of link in. It was part of our fight for independence. It was
right.
It's always been there, and soccer's only really became big in Ireland since Jack Charlton took over in the '88 when we qualified for the European Championships and beating England 1-0. And then since that, and it's half time, I think. It is 3-0. Wow, what a start!
Yep, at the half. Goals by De La Vega, Musovski, and Paul Rothrock have Seattle ahead 3-0 at the half. And for prosperity's sake, as good as Nashville was to start the half, start the match, within 20 minutes, Seattle had turned the tide. And by the 25th minute, Seattle had their first goal. And in the span of 15 minutes, Seattle countered with 3 on the bounce and now lead 3-0 at half. The interesting thing about Canada, though, is that last cycle they qualified first in CONCACAF. They had a great qualifying cycle. They got to their first World Cup since '86. Now they got grouped in the World Cup, and that was kind of expected, just considering who was in their group. But it's a big achievement for Canadian soccer to get there. Not only to get there, but to do it in style.
They didn't disgrace themselves in the World Cup either, by the way. No way, shape, or form did they.
They did really, they have a lot to be proud of. And then in this cycle, they hire an American coach. They hired Jesse March, who was, if you remember, he was at Leeds.
That's right.
He coached Leeds when they were in the Premier League. Kept him up. But the crazy thing is that the shocker is Mexico. Mexico has a rich history of being just absolutely a juggernaut in this confederation. I think they got to a quarterfinal in '72, got to the round of 16, got to a quarterfinal in '02, lost to the Americans in '02, but for the most part, have had trouble in recent World Cups of getting past the round of 16, and in one case didn't even get out of the group, and I believe it was in 2018. But
twice quarterfinalists, by the way, as well. 1970, 1986 quarterfinalists in their own World Cups. Look, for me, out of the tree, I'm going to stick my neck on the line. I'm going to say the USA are going to get to a semi-final.
In this World Cup coming up?
Yeah. I am going to stick my neck. I say Canada will get to a round of 16 or quarterfinal. Mexico, I think, will be the ones that will go out early. Will go out first.
I think that because we have an expanded field this time around, and you're going to have extra knockout games. I will say that it depends on the draw for the U.S. It really does. Now they're going to be in Pot A because they host, so they're going to get a light group. They're going to get the light group, but it all depends on, if you remember in the last World Cup in Qatar in 2022, they get out of the group. I think they beat Wales, drew against England, and I think they can't remember right off the top of my head, but then they draw the Netherlands in the round of 16, and the Netherlands played them off the pitch. So I like to think that because it's the second cycle and this group is now going to have that experience of being at the World Cup in 2022, that's going to pay dividends next year. And certainly be playing in front of their own fans, it's going to help. But again, it all depends on the draw. And I'm going to reserve my opinion until we get closer to the World Cup. I actually want to see I just want to see consistent soccer from the U.S. And right now I don't know. It's all over the map right now. Pochettino was brought in to have a good World Cup. So in one sense, it doesn't even matter what's happening right now. It's just the only thing that matters is the World Cup. So, we'll see.
And that's for sure. We as stateside footy THFC till we die have to get used to change, because we changed the name today. I did tell you I would get it wrong straight. It would take me a while to get used to the we, not the I. And Full-Time Sports Network, we will bring you all the very latest from the World Cup build-up. We're going to bring you USA build-up games as well, Canada build-up games, Mexico. If Ireland get there, we're going to cover the Ireland games as well, guys.
Well, I don't necessarily know about, if you want to cover Mexico, you sure as heck.
I might do, because
as the biggest rival of the United States, I don't think the only time I'll ever cover Mexico is if we're playing them. But I will say this though.
Bigger rival, Canada or Mexico?
Mexico. Oh yeah. That runs all the way back. That runs back all the way to the 50s. Right.
Really?
And Mexico's dominance over the United States until right around 1991. That's when everything changed in 1991 when we won the World Cup for the first time. But the thing about Mexico is that now I like the fact that Javier Aguirre is back in charge of Mexico. He seems to have gotten something sparked with Mexico. Raul Jimenez, who plays for Fulham, he's absolutely just been gone buck crazy on the international level. Same with Santiago Jimenez with AC Milan. Those two up top have played very good for Mexico. But the biggest part about Mexico is they're not developing the same type of player as they used to. And a lot of it has to do with the massive ownership conglomerates that are in Mexico. There's ownership groups that own multiple teams. And so they end up cannibalizing off each other. And they got rid of promotion relegation in Mexico, which was one of the things that allowed them to develop a certain style of player, because more opportunities on different levels opened up first team opportunities in the highest league of the land. So more poor kids were able to be seen, developed, and then get sold to bigger clubs in Mexico. And then eventually make their way over the seas. And because it's a closed league now, because there's no promotion relegation, there's not an emphasis on player development, and because only because the richest clubs in Mexico, because they are paying absorbent amounts of money, all those kids that probably should go over to Europe and test themselves, they're staying in Mexico because the money's just too good. And so a lot of these kids aren't going overseas anymore. And because of it, the talent level has dropped off in Mexico. And so they're not playing the best players. They're not playing the best players, but also the foreign players that are coming from Argentina and Colombia, they're also getting paid as well too. So there's not a lot of roster spots available for youth anymore in Mexico.
And also I was looking, it is sad. And I was looking, Brazil don't have a great side. This World Cup, this cycle. I tell you who does for me is probably Argentina, the world champions.
Argentina,
they look a really good side. If I'm looking from a European point of view, I'm probably looking at Germany. I just got this. The Germans, for me, always turn up at major tournaments. I don't care what you say.
Yeah. And isn't Nagelsmann's leading Germany, isn't he?
He is.
For me, the sleeper South American team for me is going to be Rodrigo Betancourt's side, which is the Uruguayan. The Uruguayans, they play good football. And for me on the European side, it's going to be kind of interesting. I think it's kind of convenient to say Spain, because I think Spain, France, and Germany, I think they're all going to show up. The two teams that I'm curious about are going to be England Now with Thomas Tuchel instead of Gareth Southgate, and then also the Dutch.
The Dutch, for me, I think they're the biggest dark horse of do you know? But we've got to see who qualifies first, because nobody's qualified out of Europe for these World Cups yet. So we don't know who's going to qualify yet. We know Argentina have already qualified because they beat Brazil, didn't they? 5-0.
But they're also the reigning champions, so I think they automatically draw into the World Cup. I think the winner of the last World Cup automatically qualifies.
No, they used to. They scrapped that rule.
Oh, really?
In 2000, and I think it was 2002 or 2006. They scrapped that rule. That the only team that qualifies automatically now is the whole nations. So the champions have to go through the qualifying group, which I think is fair. I think it's right that they have to earn their. I think FIFA. I think this World Cup is a mockery anyway. No disrespect. I think I got no problem in it being in 3 different countries. I think that's fair. I think they've expanded it too far, and I think they should have kept it the size it was.
I agree.
And I think they're messing with a football tournament that didn't need to be messed with.
There's an upcoming World Cup that's going to be played in it's going to be played like in Morocco, Spain, and like some South American, and like in like I can't like in some South American city, South American town like Uruguay.
It's Spain,
Morocco. Yeah, Uruguay. Spain, Morocco. Yeah, Uruguay. There you go.
Argentina.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And I forget the third one. They're only playing it in Uruguay because it's the 2030 World Cup. It's 100 years anniversary.
Yeah.
Then my answer to that is why not just play the whole damn thing in Uruguay?
Yeah, well, they don't have the infrastructure to do it. But my whole thing is, then why don't you just make it a Commonwealth World Cup where you're playing just in South America and spread it between Brazil, Argentina, Colombia. You know what I mean? Like there's enough stadiums where you're going to be able to pull that off. You know what I mean? Where you can still do the 100-year tradition of Uruguay, but to go Spain, Portugal, Morocco, and Argentina, or Paraguay, Uruguay, it's like what? But also the 2030 World Cup in Saudi Arabia. You know how Saudi Arabia greased enough people at FIFA to make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at it now, right? The 24th. I've just looked up on the internet. It is Morocco, Portugal, Spain, Argentina, Paraguay.
Yeah, Paraguay
and Uruguay, and then 2034 is in Saudi Arabia.
There you go, 2034. I beg your pardon.
48.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. 48 teams.
48.
Teams. By the way, before we start the second half, is there any Asian teams that you're looking at, like Japan or South Korea? Is there any Asian teams that you like?
I have a soft spot for South Korea because of Sonny. I think we all do. We all sort of cheer them on. Japan had a very Japan is a good.
Japan's good. Japan's
really
they
good. Are good. I tell you who will have a soft spot for, and people are going to laugh at this, and I don't mean this to be funny, but I do have a soft spot for North Korea when they get there, because I really want them to do well. Like, I just want them to
just to give the world a big middle finger.
Yeah, just do you know what? I just fear that they go back to the country. I love it when these little nations get there. And you just want them. I thought, I just hope we get there. I hope Ireland get there. I would love Ireland to get to a World Cup again. It's been far too long since we've been at a World Cup. 2002 was our last World Cup.
And I like the Irish roster too. There are some ballers on that Irish roster.
We just got an idiot of a manager.
I like the Blue Dragons of Japan. As a matter of fact, Japan and the United States play each other in a friendly coming up, so that's going to be one that I'm going to be covering as well too. But the crazy thing though is I want to see Russia back in FIFA competition, and I want to see the Russian league reinstated in the UEFA.
Why?
Because the Russian teams have always really been traditionally pretty solid, and they're always the big nation that always seemed to underachieve when it came to football supremacy in Europe. But that being said, it's like I understand the whole political climate of why FIFA and UEFA said take a timeout, but at the same time, it's like those players and that confederation had nothing to do with what happened with Ukraine.
I get it,
and I don't like seeing people punished for something they had nothing to do with. Maybe that's just me.
No, sports should never be mixed with politics. It's one thing, and they do get mixed. So that's the problem. Sport and politics
football
are.
And football is the great football is like the global football is the great unifier, right? And you can put your politics aside and enjoy a match between two host nations. You know what I mean? And it's like those players probably want to represent Russia on the global stage at a World Cup again. And teams like Dynamo Kiev and Lokomotiv Moscow probably want to actually play in UEFA competition again.
Yeah, look, I get it why they did it. I do understand your point of view, and I think look, if you're looking at it from a sporting point of view, I agree with you that
what else?
You should be punished for something,
matters.
But there is a but coming. But you've also got to make a stand if you are as an organization that you are going to stand. If you say, look, this is it. You look at athletics, they've banned Russian people because of taking enhancing drugs and cheating. So they've banned them from going to the Olympics, which I think is the right thing to do.
Do you know what my problem is, though? Because FIFA allowed Russia to grease the wheels for the 2018 World Cup. You know what I mean? And it's like you're gonna take Russia's money, so they can host a World Cup, and then 2 years later ban them from competition. And it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, I think also
that's what makes it hypocritical, because FIFA took their money. It is,
and I think also FIFA are under political pressure as well. To do that, and FIFA are probably thinking, right, where's the next World Cup being held? We don't want to pay them off. Okay, let's ban them. Look, I get it. They shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Politics and football should not be mixed, but football and politics will always be mixed. When it comes to FIFA and UEFA,
I know.
It's going to be. Now, there's a couple of substitutions here for Nashville. They're making 3, I think.
Yeah, it looks like Nashville. Yeah, it looks like Nashville is making a 3-sided change here. It looks like it's going to be Eddie's coming in, Bauer's coming in, and we'll get those substitutions to you in just a second. As Schaffelberg comes in, Jordan Schaffelberg, who, by the way, plays for the Canadian men's national team, he's going to step on the pitch. Here comes Bauer running onto the pitch for Nashville, and it looks like Eddie's coming on for Nashville as well too. So a 3-sided change for BJ Callahan, former U.S. men's national team interim coach, who's in charge of Nashville SC. I will just say this, that, I think you might be right. Maybe the 2026 World Cup had something to do with it, but that war is coming to an end, and thankfully that war is coming to an end. And when it does, maybe we can resume some calmness and level-headedness when it comes to the global football stage.
Well, as we know, there's a 30-hour truce at the moment, or ceasefire, but how long that will last is anyone's guess.
We'll
you know, it's sad, really. It's sad because it is sad. Everyone should be enjoying the Easter and enjoying the football and enjoying times with their families. And sadly, there's countries around the world where they're not doing that, and it's sad. Really.
I agree.
We should be a peaceful world, not a world that's fighting with each other.
Yeah, well, I think we've come as a society where I don't think we need to be fighting actual ground wars. No. You want to have a trade war, okay, whatever. But that being said, it's like, the need to shed blood in human life is just ridiculous. But Seattle's got the ball here, as they are playing up from the left to the right here, commanding 3-0 lead as we start the second half. And, Nashville, I'll give Nashville credit. Here's where I'll give Nashville credit, because they started this match, Derma, absolutely on fire. They were the aggressor. They were the one that was essentially pinning Seattle back into their own territory. But as that first half started progressing, as we got to the 25-minute mark, Seattle just opened up. And within a flurry of 15 minutes, they hit three goals on the bounce by Mazovsky, Pedro de la Vega, and Paul Rothrock. And now Seattle has a commanding 3-goal lead. And here comes Nashville up the left side, trying to play it in. And that ball is going to get deflected on out.
Good tackle.
Deflected on out. And it'll be.
I saw the first goal Seattle scored.
Yeah, it was
a lovely
cheeky little flick.
Cheeky little flick. Was he offside, by the way? Was
no,
that a bit for VAR?
Initially, it was ruled offside, but VAR turned it back because Paul Rothrock was definitely onside. And here's Nashville's
corner to Seattle here.
Oh, that's a good ball in. That's going to be cleared away by the Sounders.
Sorry.
And that ball is going to have to get reset by Nashville, as they will look to turn back upfield, as they're going to play this one a little centrally this time. Nice little bounce. Here's Mukhtar. Here's their talisman, number 10.
Oh, he's done well. I think Nashville have to come out in the second half and say, right, let's just win this game 1-0 or something like that. The game's done. You're 3-0 down. So I think the second half, you want to come out and say, right, let's get a bit of a confidence booster here.
Yeah,
but
turn up the pressure.
Football as well as I do, Steve. Anything can happen, and it usually does.
Turn up the pressure. See if you can get an early second half goal. Get back some of the momentum loss, and maybe you might have an opportunity. But that being said, any counter by the Sounders, and this thing is going to be put to the sword as that ball skips on past. Nice little free kick right there.
Corner. Not goal kick.
Yeah, it looks like it's a goal kick.
Yeah. So where's this now? Sorry for all the silly questions about the MLS. I'm learning as I'm doing this with you. So
sure.
So have you got cup competitions as well as the league, or is it just the league and then you go into the playoffs and that's when it gets interesting?
We have a continental championship, which is the CONCACAF Champions League, or the CONCACAF Champions Cup, which is played at the first beginning of the season, which is in February and March. And we are already deep into that competition. I think we're already in the semifinals of that competition. We have the U.S. Open Cup, which is our domestic cup, which has been around for 100 years, and it's open to every level of U.S. football. But like I said, Major League Soccer decided that they didn't want to compete in it. And so there's a lot of MLS Next Level Pro teams, which are essentially academy teams that are going to be playing in it. We have Leagues Cup, which is the cup competition that is played between Major League Soccer teams and also teams from Mexico, which takes place in the summer. And then through the entire duration of all of that, you have the league run. And that goes from February all the way to October, November. And then we have the playoffs at the end of the season.
And then, so your season really runs all year round, really, apart from...
like we have about a month off, and that's usually end of November, early December, all the way until January. That ball skies over the crossbar. Like it was the center back, Kim, right there that got on the end of that one. But yeah. Like we run the Major League Soccer runs the same length as any other top flight. It just doesn't run on the same calendar. So when the Premier League runs from August to May, with maybe a month and a half between, it's almost the exact same thing, except we run from February to the end of November.
Yeah, the Irish League is the same. It starts in February and runs all the way through to November. So we play all the way through the summer, and we just have the FAI Cup as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask I was wondering if Ireland had a domestic cup.
Yeah, we do.
The FAI.
Yeah, the FAI Cup. Oh, we're doing quite well in Europe actually this year. Shelburne done very well in Europe this year. Got into the knockout stages, which is good for good good for us. Actually, we've got our league's good. Our league's good. There's been more fans going to watch Irish soccer now over the last couple of years. The attendance has been rising and rising, so it's been good.
I'm a big fan of Cork and Derry.
Yeah, we don't have a team. We have Wexford Youths. It's my local team. I don't, and they're in the second division. We don't have a team. The team near for me would be Bray Wanderers, but they're in the second division as well. So more Dublin-based teams that be in the Premier League, the Irish Premier League.
And that'd be like what, Derry?
Well, no, Derry be in that. Shelburne, St. Pat's.
Shelburne. Yeah, St. Pat's. Are the Finn Harps still a team?
I think yeah.
Finn Harps.
Yeah. Harps, yeah. Hang on, let me just check.
The Finn Harps.
It's a league I don't follow very much. I need to start following it. I will be, but
you know, it's funny considering that you're Irish and you bleed Irish. And you're like, well, let me go check on my domestic league real quick.
It is quite funny, really.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like I'll be the first one to admit I don't watch a lot of Irish football because we don't seem to get a lot of Irish football streams. But so the closest thing that I watch is the Scottish Premiership. And I'm a big fan of Ross. I'm a big fan of Ross County in the Premiership, Scottish Premier League.
Right, I will give you now here's Seattle. Drogheda, St. Pat's, Shamrock Rovers, Shelburne, Galway United, Derry City, Bohemians, Waterford, Sligo Rovers, and Cork City. They're in the Premier Division.
I'm a big fan of the Sligo Rovers.
Yeah, and then if I go back to First Division, which is the one we're in, Wexford Youths. We're just mighty Wexford when we were a mighty team.
Oh, damn. Oh, yeah. So they are in the Irish First Division. They're sixth in the Irish First Division. And they're in that. So that would be the second league. And so they're 2 points off Wexford Youth.
Yeah. We're fourth. We're not doing too bad. We've got Finn Harps. Harps are, they're in the First Division. They're sixth in the league. Finn Harps.
Yeah, the Finn Harps.
Yeah.
That really is such an Irish football team name.
It is. We've got Trinity United, they're fifth. Wexford, come on, the mighty Wexford Yellow Bellies, in fourth. We've got Bray Wanderers, they're in second. Dundalk at the moment. I really want to play with that league at the moment. Dundalk FC.
They used to be in the top flight.
They did. Bray Wanderers, though, have won 5 out of 5. They're only 5 points behind Dundalk at the moment. Them two are running away with the league.
Nice. Yeah, Dundalk used to be in the top flight. Finn used to be in the top flight too. They got relegated a while back.
Yeah. I'm sure Kevin's going to be devastated when I tell him Kerry are bottom of the First Division. I will tell Kevin that when I get speaking to him next. He starts slagging me off about Mayo and GAA. I'll tell him your soccer team are bottom of the league.
Here's Paul Rothrock trying to play this in. Seattle will try to play this one in off the left-hand side. Here's New, who is going to play it back. There's Paul Rothrock trying to slide it in. Nice. There's a ball on net. Oh, he just missed it. Oh, Musovski got on it. Oh, he got on it and missed the post. He missed the post by 2 inches. As Seattle was looking to put Nashville to the sword right here. Oh, he just missed it.
I know you're ahead of me, but I'm about to see it in a minute, probably. I think. No, it's a free kick to Nashville. I probably did miss it.
Yeah. Oh, what a chance right there. It actually missed a sliding Mozovski's foot right there, but man, that was so close.
Yeah, big up anyone that's watching. Please hit the like button and subscription button. Let's get Steve to 500. Come on, let's do it. Let's get him there.
Let's do it. I do want to thank everybody that is tuning in for a little MLS live stream here. I thought we would get some. I thought we'd get some cheeky Tottenham fans that might be interested, but it's Major League Soccer. I get it.
Well, it is 2:00 in the morning.
That's also a very good point. That's also a very good point.
And how I'm still awake, I do not know.
But the other thing though is like it's especially when you're doing Sounders live stream, most of the people that you're targeting are actually at the stadium, so they're already there. Now, if I did enter Miami with Messi, I'm sure I would probably get some traffic.
The Northern Lights are going to be visible in Ireland again. Well, they were 3 days ago.
Oh, very cool. I've never seen the Northern Lights.
No.
Ball in. Ooh, nice. Right at Stephon Fry. Good save. Good save right there by the Sounders. Stephon Fry. Good positioning by Stephon Fry. The longtime veteran goalkeeper for the Sounders. Yeah. 38 years old.
Yeah, the big fight next Saturday.
Who's fighting?
Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank Jr.
I know who Nigel Benn is.
Well, Nigel Benn Jr. No, is it Nigel Benn? I know it's Conor Benn. Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr.
Okay. Where's that fight taking place at?
Would you believe at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium?
Yes, I would believe that. Is it really at the is it really at the Lane?
Yeah, it is.
It looks like they're going to be making some money.
Yeah, none of that will be going to
the football club.
No,
we can't spend money that we can't spend money that we don't have. Oh, really, Daniel? Oh, really, Daniel? Okay.
Well, Daniel won't be there for much longer, as you know. Daniel will be a faded memory next season.
How many like when that news finally breaks, I wonder how many champagne bottles are going to be popped throughout the.
I say a few. I just want a few apologies to people that said I was talking absolute garbage. I'm going to open up an apology letter unit on YouTube just to pay for people just to apologize there. Just say you're sorry. We'll move on.
Don't do that. Don't do that there, man. Just remind folks that you heard it first on Tottenham THFC TWD.
Yeah. I said it today. I did the predictive video for Dave and Jack for their match against on Monday, and I always do a predictive video. And it was just after we put the W into the channel. And what did I call it straight away? Hi, this is Dermot from THFC till I die. After it, I went, bollocks. I can't change. I'm not bothering doing another recording now. I just said it.
Bollocks. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
No, it should be fine. It should be fine.
I'm looking forward to the buy and sell tomorrow night. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, for those that are tuning in tomorrow, we're doing a buy and sell tomorrow at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock UK time, 1 o'clock Eastern here in the United States, 11 o'clock Pacific Coast time, as we play a little buy and sell with the Tottenham Hotspur. The starting 11 and some of the bench players as well, too, as we gear up for the summer transfer window. And, of course, you can find out all Tottenham Hotspur transfer news as far as Premier League news as well, too, when it comes to the transfer window on the summer transfer series here on THFC TWD till we die.
See, well done. Well done. You're getting it before me.
Yeah. Yeah, I know how to do it.
Yeah.
Here come the Sounders now, trying to play through the midfield as they lay this one off. Here's
oh Lord, I love it.
Here's Niu. And is that there's gonna be a whistle right there. Yeah. 100% on Jaime Mukhtar right there. The Sounders have a commanding lead here in the 60th minute, 3-0. As in the first half, the Sounders essentially grouped 3 goals in a span of 15 minutes on the bounce and have essentially put this one away. As the second half here in Seattle is pretty much a formality. That's a nice little move right there. That was a nice little move by Rienzi. Damn, that was nice. Here's Stephon Fry, who's going to play this one. It's going to be interesting though, because when we do these exercises, these buy and sell exercises, you get an idea of just exactly who's valuable and who we thought was valuable and who actually is valuable and where they need to buy. And the question isn't not do they need to buy. The question is the caliber of the player that they do buy. And Ange Postecoglou made I was listening to the press conference, the embargo section, where he was asked about the caliber of player, and he basically responded by like, why would we change? We set out a mission to build a team, based on a certain caliber player in a certain age group. So why would we stop now? And I don't know if that was his natural feeling towards it or whether he's running cover for certain players that are above him.
Do you feel as a manager that, look, we all know he will go at the end of the season. That's what we've been told, and with new owners and that. But do you think he's on a charm offensive with the new owners as well?
That's a good question. I don't know. As Pedro de la Vega now will come off of the Sounders. Here comes Albert Rusnak off his injury. It's good to see Albert back. And of course, Jordan Morris will come in for Musovski as the two leaders of this attack make their MLS return after 6 weeks out with injuries. It's nice to see those guys back as they're going to get their first 30 minutes back from injury. So it's nice to see Albert Rusnak and Jordan Morris back on the field for the Sounders. To answer your question, I don't know, right? Now, I would like to think that Daniel Levy and Ange Postecoglou have a relationship. I mean, how could they not, considering that in any other circumstance, Ange Postecoglou would have been fired months ago.
Yeah.
And he's been given a lot of leeway. So there has to be some sort of relationship in place. But that being said, it's like, there's a free kick, edge of the box. That's going to be deflected away. Rebound goes to Nashville. They'll reset. That's a ball in. Not exactly the best ball in, as that ball's going to kick back down. As Nashville will try to ping this thing around the box, and that's a bad ball. That's going to get all the way to the touchline. But brought back in. Yeah, this is just multiple crosses into the box going absolutely nowhere. There's the whistle. I would think, Derma, though, that I find it hard. Like, I understand what you're saying, and I do believe when you say that he's going to be gone one way or another. I do believe that, but it's hard for me to fathom sacking a coach coming off a European trophy. Like, if this was the League's Cup, that, I mean, I could understand it, because in the hierarchy of cups, it's very low. But a European Cup is a European Cup. You know what I mean? Whether it's Europa League or the Champions League, obviously you'd rather have it the Champions League. But for Tottenham Hotspur, who haven't won a European trophy since '84, Ange Postecoglou writes himself in the history books for Tottenham Hotspur, and I just can't imagine they would sack him after that. But also think of Manchester United. They brought Ten Hag back off an FA Cup. Granted, that's deflected right into the goal. He was brought back. Now, granted, he was eventually sacked, but they still brought him back after an FA Cup.
We're having our own Ten Hag. If Ange wins the Europa League, then we're going to have our own Ten Hag moment.
Yeah.
And it all depends on what the new owners want to do. Look, I've heard rumblings that Mourinho could come back. That is one of the names that is in the hat. Mourinho said he would come back to Tottenham if the new owners are there and he had money to spend.
Yeah, so the interesting thing though is, like, if you're Ange Postecoglou, you're certainly not going to quit, knowing that you have Champions League on the horizon. Yeah. And of course, if you're in the Champions League, you're going to go out there and get better players to at least try to make a run in the Champions League, at least, as Jordan Morris almost got the end of that one. But would you? I don't know how you feel about that, right? Jose Mourinho got sacked before a final, and
Jose Mourinho got sacked because Levy didn't want to pay him the money for winning that cup. There was, if he won a cup, there was an automatic extension to his contract, plus his sacking would have cost a hell of a lot more than what it did cost. So I also believe he was sacked because with the Super League that weekend that came out, all the pressure Levy was under. I tell you what we do, lads, we're going to sack the manager. That would take the pressure off me. It would take the pressure off Tottenham, and all the focus will be on Jose Mourinho. And I think that was very, very I think that was done so cleverly that suddenly, out of nowhere, 6 days for a cup final, we sack our manager because the Super League has blown up in his face. Now, if he didn't get involved in the Super League, I do believe Jose Mourinho would have stayed on as manager. I know it's conspiracy theories, and we can conspiracy theory all day long.
Right, because Jose actually wanted the Super League. He wanted to compete in the Super League. Yeah, no doubt about it. He didn't.
Did he say that, or?
Yeah, I remember seeing a press conference where he said it was a good idea. But that being said, I will say that. But now he goes to Fenerbahce. He goes to Roma and then Fenerbahce. But that being said, though, it's like, can you really bring back Jose Mourinho?
Well, he came back to Chelsea twice.
But he won there. He won there, though. The first time around, he won there.
Yeah, he would have won us the League Cup if he stayed in charge.
I'll tell you what, though, he's coming. Like, if he does come back, he's coming back to like one of the best back fives that he's ever had.
Yeah, I think this team has a Conte or Mourinho in charge. We would have been challenging for the title this year.
Yeah, perhaps like with Romero Van de Ven anchoring that back line under Jose Mourinho. Jeez.
I mean, you think Pro Jose had Eric Dyer, Daniel Sanchez, just Eric Dyer and Sanchez just alone.
Yeah, I hear you.
And then Eric Dyer moved to Bayern Munich.
Oh. Well, he started with Vertonghen and Alderweireld, though.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
He did. I feel sorry
for John. And he had what? He had. He also had Serge Aurier at right back, and then he had, and I think Danny Rose was still there, but he was coming off the bench, though.
I do you know what? I felt so sorry for Danny Rose during that All or Nothing. That documentary made him look something he wasn't.
He just wanted to play. He just wanted to play, and I get
it. I tell you, it's bad when Don Bele comes in, right, and they have to bring in to sit down and talk to him. Now, what is wrong with you? You're getting $100,000 a week. There shouldn't be anything wrong with you, for crying out loud. All you got to do is go out and kick a few footballs about. It's not difficult.
He was homesick, man.
I think he's always, and when he was in France, he played crap when he was there, when he went on loan to a French team.
Yeah, I just think that it was not the right club for him to come to.
No.
And by the way, I also believe it was that Ndombele deal that spooked Daniel Levy.
It really was. I tell you who we could have done with this season, and I've said it before, and I'm a massive fan of his, was Højbjerg. We could have kept Højbjerg. If we kept Højbjerg, I think he would have done such a good job for us during this injury crisis.
It definitely could have, because there was times where we didn't necessarily have a physical six.
And he was a leader as well, by the way. He's a leader of men. He would have been.
And if you remember, we lost Betancourt for a nice little stretch there too.
Yeah.
That losing Betancourt was tough, and then he comes back, gets suspended for a game, and then I think he had the concussion there for a little bit, so he was out for a few more games. It would have been nice to have a Højbjerg, 100%.
But Yeah, that I'm so annoyed at myself tonight. Tonight was about getting the streams together and all that, and I just end up spending the whole night just trying to figure out what I deleted. So I had to do a full reset. Honest to God, Steve, it's one of those moments when you go, I'm such a dumbass. Like, I shouldn't have. And I was trying. What happened was, it came up on my PC. I needed to clear space, so I was deleting stuff off, and then suddenly I deleted this stuff off, which I didn't know what I was deleting. Suddenly, me on the monitor went blank.
That's so
didn't
funny.
work. Yeah, so I went, oh, Rolex, I have to reset. And then because resetting everything, that logs me out of everything. So I have to log in like StreamYard. That's why I asked you for the link. I couldn't jump on because I've got to get the code off column tomorrow at some point.
Here's the ball in right here off a Nashville corner that's going to go out. And looks like Nashville will have another crack at here.
I'm gonna have to get a Seattle top. You know, that top looks really cool.
You're a big fan of the green, huh?
I think Seattle now is becoming my MLS team now.
Well, I'm glad that you chose Seattle because they're good. They're not a bad. That's going to get deflected out again for another corner. Yeah, I mean it's not a bad team to support because chances are they're going to be competitive every single year. So they'll be good enough to get your hopes up, but just not good enough that they'll break your heart.
Sound like supporting Tottenham, really.
That's exactly right.
Grand. At least Celtic never let me down. Celtic win everything every year. They never let me down.
Well, yeah, that's because Celtic is the only team in Scotland that's going to, pay for players next to Rangers. But that being said, it's like, every other team is developing youth while Celtic is spending for championship level players, and they just destroy everybody in the league.
That's true. I tell you, Villa did well today.
I saw that.
Newcastle.
I turned it off when it was 2-1 Villa, but they were looking pretty dangerous there at the end.
I'm just looking through.
And then I jumped on their little big upstream today.
Steve, I'm going to have to jump off, man. I'm really struggling to stay awake. So stay awake. I will do a full MLS stream with you. What I'm going to have to do is take a nap, and then come back. I'm ready for it.
But we're in the 73rd minute. It's almost over.
All right. Okay. I'll stay as long as I can. All right. I'll stay as long as I can.
It's all good, man. Get some sleep. It's all good, man. You're in Ireland, man. Go ahead and get to sleep, man. It's not that big of a deal.
No. That's... Oh dear. But no. So when's your next MLS game?
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Yeah, and I was thinking about potentially doing one because they usually have like a 1:30 game. And they also have like a 4:30 game. So next week I'll shoot for the afternoon game, so you're not up at 2:00 in the afternoon, 2:00 in the morning.
That's not too bad. Ooh. What time's the afternoon game for here?
That would be if it's at 1:00. That'll be at 6:30 your time.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. I'll be up for that next Saturday.
Yeah, it all depends on the scheduling, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So tomorrow we are doing the buy and sell at 6:00 your time PM.
Yeah.
1:00 my time. That's perfect.
Yeah, and then I'll be on later with James to do the pre-match before the Forest game as well. So two streams tomorrow, guys. You got double trouble tomorrow.
Double trouble. And then we have the pre-match on Monday.
Yeah. Now I'm not sure if you want to do an hour's build-up again. We can do. You and me from 7. Okay, so we'll do it from 7 on Monday. Then final score straight after the game where you guys get. I don't know why nobody can see me, and I'm still pointing at the screen. What a knobhead. You can point for me, Steve. You can point for me. You guys get on to come on and have your say. Yeah. We are going to try something new next season. I'll let you explain it, Steve, what we've got planning coming up next season because it's really exciting.
we do. We have a bunch of members fan shows where a lot of our members are going to be able to come on the stream and talk Spurs football as well too. And we also have new membership pricing as well too. That's going to allow you different tiers of access as this channel grows. So it's actually going to be kind of exciting starting in the summer transfer window.
And also, we're going to do it through Discord as well. So if you don't want to show your face, we're going to bring you on like a radio station. The final, even during the radio transfer season, we're going to have a members, or if you're a member and you don't want to show your face, you get to come on Discord. We can bring you in, and it's going to be like different from the members, but Discord members then get their chance to come on as well. So it's about getting it ever, and then we're going to, so we've got a lot of American stuff coming as well. We're going to cover a lot of the American. I know this is on Full-Time Sports Network, but that's from next week. This will be on THFC till we die as well.
Yeah, so it's going to be pretty cool, man. So we're going to have Major League Soccer and the U.S. Men's National Team covered on THFC, TWD, as well as Tottenham Hotspur. The summer transfer window, not just for Tottenham Hotspur, but for the Premier League, and also a new format for the upcoming season as well too.
Yeah, and don't forget Big Up as well, guys. We're over on Big Up Matchday Magic. For all the rest of your Premier League, Ireland internationals, England internationals, as well as tactical shows, where Colm and James are going to do a tactical show, but me and Steve are going to do a tactical show over there.
Ooh.
We're going to do our own. We're going to do our own tactical show.
And it's going to be called From Tactical to Practical.
Exactly.
I just made that up.
That's actually a very good title. That's a good title for the show. Actually,
From Tactical to Practical. So we're going to be covering a lot of Tottenham Hotspur news, also breaking a lot of Tottenham Hotspur news as well too. Not just Tottenham, but also the rest of the Premier League as well too. So it's going to be a big summer, and it's also going to be also a very good start to the 2025-2026 season leading into the 2026 World Cup. So it should be great.
The World Cup, I cannot wait to cover the World Cup, because the best thing for me is you're going to be there. You're going to be a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be able to do a daily morning show with Steve somewhere in America, talking to the fans, getting their thoughts on the World Cup, maybe,
depending on the work schedule. So we'll see.
But if you're at a game, that's the point. When you're at your games, that's what I meant. We can get there. It's an idea I've got in my head. I've got an idea.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We can do the cameraman and then the mic and just be like, walk up to normal people and be like, so what do you think about today's game?
And we'll stream that live as well. So I'm excited. Yeah. I'm really excited.
I think it would be great. As we are now pushing into the 17th minute, Seattle's still holding to their 3-0 lead here.
They've won this.
This thing is essentially in the book as we're just waiting for the countdown. That's a nice little through ball. Here's Jordan Morris. Ooh, he has to pull up, make a play there.
Oh, unlucky.
Ooh.
Oh, he's in. He takes shot. Oh, right. I am sorry, Steve. I have to bow.
Okay. That's fine. No worries, because we got about 10 minutes left, and then we're going to wrap up the stream as well too.
We've got through a few conversations. Actually, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the company. I've enjoyed the company, man.
This is what we do on live streams. We just bullshit through the entire thing while watching soccer. I don't have a problem with that at all.
Well,
yeah, I don't have a problem with it, and I get to watch my hometown team, so I get to see them beat Nashville 3-0. So yeah. It's beautiful.
And I get to watch my new hometown team as well now as a new Seattle fan. Win. So
Sounds still
good on you. Go Seattle. Right, Steve. I shall see you tomorrow, man.
Sounds good. Have a good night, Dermot.
Yeah, you too. Come on, you.
All right. So 80th minute. Seattle obviously dominating 3-0 as this ball is going to be played forward. This looks like it's going to be Jordan Morris. Taps it into the box, but there is a Nashville defender And that ball's going to get played out. And I think it's going to be a Seattle throw-in. Nope, Nashville throwing. There's the whistle on the field. I want to thank Dermatron for stopping by, getting a little Seattle home cooking here. As here comes Applewhite into the match. As Palacios will come off. Nashville needing 3. And can they do it in 10 minutes? I don't think so. As that ball's going to get played in right to a defender. Seattle defender. Seattle's going to control possession here. As they're going to try to play this up the left-hand side, they actually have movement. Here's Paul Rothrock, who scored one of the goals tonight. 1v1. Cuts inside. Plays it back. Lays it off. That's a ball in. That's going to get deflected high. And Nashville's going to try to play it out of their zone, but there's João Paulo, who's going to come down to it. That looks like that's Alex Roldan right there. And that's a horrible, horrible pass, but there is a whistle on the field. And that's a yellow card. Yeah, he's going to get booked. That's what, João Paulo? Yeah, he's going to get booked. Oh yeah, that was a bad sliding tackle right there by João Paulo. But 81st minute, Sounders are firmly in control of this one as Nashville is going to try to switch right here. Coming down off the right. There's a ball in. Nice deflection right there. Ooh, shot on net. Nice save by Stefan Fry. Nice shot by Heine Mukhtar. Because he's trying to be as goal dangerous as he possibly can, but Seattle has done their job well tonight. Dominating first half. And there's the Sounders Lucha Libre fan. As Nashville is going to try to reset deep into their own territories, they're going to try to play this one forward. Oh, nice. Here's Eddie. That ball's going to carry him and ricochet out. Nashville throwing. As they quickly try to play it in, but there's a whistle. So it looks like the Sounders are going to make their final change, and here comes Kent. On for Rothrock. You're in the 83rd minute. As Kent will come in. I think this might be his Sounders debut. That dude's a beefy dude. He's beefy. Looks like it's his Sounders debut. That's a nice little play. As a matter of fact, they're going to get started right away. Here's Jordan Morris turning on the Jets into the box. Shot on net. And that's going to get deflected. Nice play by Willis right there to cut down the angle on Jordan Morris. But Jordan had his defender beat by 3 steps. Played it in. Willis. Nice little way to cut down that angle on J-Mo. As it gets out for a Seattle corner, as that's going to be played in. Here's Kent. He's going to lay it off. All the way through. Nice through ball. Just a little too high. As 2 Sounders rush the ball. 85th minute. Here comes Nashville on the break. as they're trying to get numbers forward. That ball's deflected and out. Nashville throwing off of João Paulo. As Nashville looks like they're going to make their final sub. And it looks like, yep, Surridge comes off for Perez. Wonderful display tonight by the Sounders, absolutely dominating. As soon as they got one, the floodgates opened and two more came in. Nashville absolutely has no opportunity in this one. Just a lack of concentration that led to two more goals. That ball gets out. Here's the throw-in. Nashville plays it. We'll play it back to its center backs. Nice ball forward to Eddie. Here comes Nashville. They have numbers. Off to the left. Cuts in. Ball. Nobody's there. Deflected all the way high. Nashville will reset. Can Nashville at least get one back? We shall see. Can Seattle keep the clean sheet? I think they will. 87th minute now. Ooh, that ball's just going to leak all the way forward, but Nashville holds possession still. That's played back. Nice little touch right there. How about Jesus Ferreira covering ground? I mean, he was on a World Cup team. So here comes Nashville off the right side, ball in. Nobody's there. Rebound in the box. Seattle comes away with it, tries to clear it. Can Seattle keep their concentration? Deflection. Tried to clear out. Nashville keeps it in. Down the left-hand side. Forward. Deflected by João Paulo. Nice play. And there's the whistle. And that will stop Nashville's forward momentum here in the 85th minute. Yeah. Really, it's been a little bit more Nashville in the second half when it comes to momentum, but Seattle clearly had it at the end of the first half. 3 goals coming through. Stephon Fry. All the way down. That's Jordan Morris. And is there a whistle? Yeah, there's a whistle. Oh, it's going to go against Seattle. Nice deflection back in. That's going to be off the left. Oh, and Kent tried to make a play. Nice play. Nice play. Ooh, nice little flick. Here's Kent. Lays it off. Shot. No, that's going to get wide. Christian Roldan, who has been dangerous tonight. We are approaching the 90th minute here. They will keep this. They will keep this in Nashville's end, and there's a whistle on João Paulo as he hits the turf. Seattle will have a free kick, and that one's going to be on Eddie. He didn't like the call, but blonde hair don't care. As that thing is going to get switched to the left. Nothing's really there. As that's going to get deflected, and he will track back for it. You are definitely welcome there, Derma. Glad you came on. as we are in the waning minutes. 5 minutes of stoppage time here as that ball is going to be played forward. Here's Jordan Morris. Plays it forward. And of course it cuts out. Gotta love streams. All right. 91st minute. As we are almost wrapped up here in Seattle. I want to thank everybody who's tuned in tonight for this live stream. It's been an absolute pleasure. That's a nice little ball in the box for Jesus, but a little too far leading. Seattle is trying to put the pressure to get that fourth goal. Relentless pressure for Seattle, as Nashville is going to try to play this through the midfield. That's a good ball forward. And there's a whistle right there at the edge of the box. There is going to be a foul on Schaffelberg here. And it'll be a Nashville free kick here in the 92nd minute. Heine Mukhtar standing over. Can Seattle keep their focus here? Here we go. Here's the free kick. Right on net, right on target, right in the hands of Stefan Frei. 93rd minute. We are closing in on the final here. Seattle will hold possession. There's a ball forward. All the way down. It's going to be Jesus Ferreira who's going to get out the end of it, as he's looking for numbers. He plays it all the way back to Alex Roldan, who's going to play it back to Yarmar, who plays it back all the way to Stefan Frei, as we are now in the 93rd minute. Seattle, looks like Seattle has stopped necessarily trying to get forward now. As Kent will play it back. As we are approaching minute 94. As that's going to get away from Jesus Ferreira. Just play back to Willis. And that's going to get out for Seattle throwing. We are approaching the final here. Seattle has done unbelievably well tonight, picking up the 3 points, moving up the Western Conference standings against a very good Nashville opponent. Oh, and Jordan Morris just missed that opportunity right there. There's the ball forward. Nice little play here. As the Sounders are going to try to play keep away as we're approaching the 95th minute now. 15 seconds. As that ball gets shifted all the way to the left. As that ball is going to get played forward. They got a runner. Ooh, and he just missed it. Ooh, he just missed it. That was Jordan Morris again. As Willis makes an unbelievable save. As they play Jordan forward. He got onto the end of it. Good save. Jordan has had 2 really good looks at goal tonight. And it looks like we're getting to the end of this one. And there it is. Seattle will be winners. 3-0 was your final score. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank Dermatron for stopping on the stream tonight. And again, we're going to see more of you guys as we move forward in this Major League Soccer season. Thank you again, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night, guys.